but everything started with Pasteur. We now know everything about all the elements that you see on the slide. I would say that we are fully knowledgeable about the nature of yeast, growth factors, fermentation kinetics, and so on and so forth. And malolactic bacteria, of course, I studied at the enology school 50 years ago, and we did not speak about bacteria. I remember that, of course, we all thought that bacteria were pure evil, and we thought in terms of ascetic fermentation, but we know how important they are for malolactic fermentation, for the production of the great reds, where stability depends on the total elimination of malic acid and the elimination of sugar residues. We know a lot about the chemistry of polyphenols, about the biochemistry of aroma precursors, with the work on glycosides and terpenes. And then we advanced very much our knowledge thanks to the work with Sauvignon wine, the degradation of carotenoids. And there again started with Montpellier, and molecules which were studied there, and Williams in Australia also contributed extensively.
And then norisoprenioids and everything that happens when the grapes overripe. We know about varietal aromas. We know close to everything that one needs to know about the only active tool that is a winemaking technology to stabilize wine, barriques, namely. Forget about the others. Now, this is a winemaking tool, just like a cross-flow filter, vacuum filter, and it's necessary to obtain certain results and has a big influence on the aging of wine. And then the factors that influence the balance between esters, nitrogen, redox potential, the off flavors. And I was recently invited by my colleague and friend Jerby and others to discuss the off flavors in wine, something that had not been done in the past 25 years. So we're going back to some well-known discussions. So in conclusion, wine has never tasted so good as today. Now, it has improved from a sensory perspective. Everything is in control, and it also improved from a nutritional standpoint. Because if I am supplementing wine, then it will keep some functional antioxidant function. And most importantly, food safety has improved. Think of biogenic amines. Think of mycotoxins, which are carcinogenic. There are toxins that are very dangerous from a kidney perspective. Now think of wine with, residues on the bottom that have settled on the bottom. So everything has changed in terms of food safety. So everything began with Pasteur. Wine has improved. It's always been mastered and aromatized. It's now improved. These are the clouds that have hidden the real aromas, and now we have a clean, flavorful bottle. And it's also the relevance of alcohol. We do not drink wine to consume alcohol. People who drink wine to take alcohol has a very serious problem. You choose wine for other reasons. It's the ambassador of a given terroir. It's a cultural entity that generates culture, that produces culture when it's made and when it's consumed. When it's made, well, someone mentioned this, I can't remember who it was, perhaps Gianni Trioli, and I keep telling my students, a winemaker, an enologist must act in a state of permanent research. There's no just one researcher to make wine. So a good winemaker is a researcher and will generate new knowledge after every vinification cycle. I vinify directly. People who make wine know about that. And that was one of the benefits I could enjoy in this career, because I also make wine. I'm not just a university professor. I also make wine. So everything has come together. So those who vinify will know that in the same vintage, 2 different tanks may get different results. So every year we learn something different, and we drink it because the olfactory part has improved. And it's been brought up also thanks to the studies, and we discover the aesthetics of olfaction through which wine communicates its identity. And this was all made possible also by distinguishing wines in 2 different varietals. Only Moscato was recognizable before. Now we recognize other wines based on their color, such as Pinot, because of their color and their bouquet. And then the different areas, and therefore the concept of terroir, which is one of the most distinctive elements in wine. OIV was created to preserve the identity of wine, including its ties to the area where it comes from, which is one of the strengths for this product, which is simply the reflection of an agricultural act. So with warming, the bottles come together, and also the growing practices cause wines to become closer and closer, and the regions become closer and closer. And this is the risk we see. If we go on like this, that is, the entire power of wine will be just swept away, because the interest in wine is the model of diversity it is based on, because there are many wines from different varietals and wines from different areas. That's the uniqueness of wine, the uniqueness of Barolo versus Brunello, Agnalico del Vulture, Taurasi, Bordeaux, a Pinot Noir from Burgundy, from a Pinot Noir from Oregon, etc. So infinite wines around the world whose interest and value is associated to the terroir and also the total acidity in the bouquet.